everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Evi and I read books. And today I have actually sort of my top 3 English books that I own, or like the books that I love the most that I have in English, because I obviously have multiple 5-star reads, but these are 5-star reads throughout the years that I really want to reread first of all, and that I just loved. And those are like my top 3 English books. I'm not sure how I'm gonna call this video, because like I said, these are books that I just really enjoyed, and my collection of English books has just been growing and growing and growing, so I might have a ton more books that I really enjoy and that I really want to read. But at this moment, these are my top 3 books that I have read, that I enjoyed, that I own in English. So enjoy watching. The first book is a book that I've read, I think 2016 or maybe even earlier. I have no idea. I just really want to reread it, annotate it. And that is 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. I have read this book obviously at the time that the series came out, because my mom and my sister really wanted to see this show, and I did not want to see the show before I read the book, because I owned the book. If I don't own a book and I want to read and I want to watch a movie or a show, I tend to sometimes just watch it. But if I own the book, I'm reading the book first. So I really enjoyed the story, the series itself too, but I thought the book was gripping me a little bit more. For the people who don't know 13 Reasons Why, this is a book about Clay Jensen, who receives a bunch of audio tapes by his dead friend Hannah. Hannah made those tapes to actually explain to the people on 13 Reasons Why she actually killed herself. So there are 13 different tapes explaining her 13 reasons that drove her to killing herself. So these are obviously trigger warnings for like self-harm and a lot of other stuff. There are, I think, rape and everything. There's a lot of trigger warnings in this book, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the first books that I bought in English, and I loved every second of it. I loved reading about it, reading the tapes, watching the TV show a little bit later. Like, I think I finished the book and that night we started watching the TV show. So, and you can also, it's on the back, listen to the tapes. I'm not sure if the site still is available. I remember after finishing this book, I also listened to some of the tapes, like the audio version of it, which is great also, like a great addition to the story. This was just a book that had an impact on me with a lot of different reasons, because yes, it's about really heavy topics, and all the reasons have some heavy topics to it, and I really want to dive into the story again, because I am still watching the TV show, because I'm like falling back on everything I'm watching or reading. But I am still watching, like, I think the 4th season right now of this show, but I just want to dive back in the beginning of the story, because I remember I loved the story so much, and I was feeling all the feels, like anger, sadness, just all the feels. It's a feeling, and I really just want to reread it. And I know that I'm falling in love with the story because I gave it 5 stars in a previous year, so I'm pretty sure my rating won't lower, or it's a 4 definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna go from a 5 to a 2, obviously. And then the second book I'm going to talk about is a pretty obvious book, and if you watch my channel for a longer time, I pretty much mentioned this book in every video, and that is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, or actually the entire, series of these books are amazing. This is a young adult murder mystery, and that is definitely right up my alley. I love murder mysteries, especially when they're like formatted this way. This is a dual timeline, and this is actually the first book that I've read with a dual timeline that I loved, because I never really read historical fiction or liked dual timelines. But this gave me, this opened my eyes to perhaps even liking it, and I did. And that's what makes me diving into a lot more books that relate to these topics. Truly Devious is the first in a series, Ellingham Academy, where people actually go study the stuff that they like. So if you like science, you do science stuff. If you like crimes, you do crime-related stuff. Well, investigating crimes, obviously. It's not like, oh, right now we have French, English, and then whatever we have, class. No, you kind of invest your time in your talents and your interests. So that's the school part of it. Its school is founded in 1936, and back then Albert Ellingham's daughter and wife got missing. His wife is found back dead, but his daughter is still missing. And that's in 1936. In present day, Stevie Bell is going to Ellingham Academy, and she's interested in crimes, more specific in the crime of the Ellingham Academy. So she actually goes to the school to investigate and to learn more about what actually happened in 1936, and maybe even find Alice if she can, if she's still alive, and what happened to Alice, find out what all the mystery is about. And that's actually a little bit what this first book is about, and obviously including the second and the third a little bit, because they're all about the same leading case, obviously. But like I said, I love the dual timelines. It gave me a new perspective that I might do like historical fiction, but more on the way of like murder mystery horror type of historical fiction, not romance historical fiction or something. That was actually my favorite book of last year, and now we're going on to my favorite book of this year so far, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which is also a murder mystery. I have read this book in March and I loved it. It's also a series. I'm continuing with the series. I dived in the story and I never got out of it, and I'm still shocked about the fact that this is a series because of the way it ended. I was like, how are you going to make a series of it? I want to know. Book hasn't arrived yet, so I don't know yet. I have ordered it, but it's, I think they need to reprint it, so I'm waiting for Good Girls, Bad Blood. This is about Andy Bell, who gets killed by her boyfriend at the time, Salil Sain. Only thing is, Salil kills himself, so the entire town, which is like those small town murders actually, the entire town is convinced that Salil killed Andy. That's the story, that's it. 5 years later, Pippa is actually going to look into the story and for like a final project of hers, and she's interested in the story to see what happened. She goes investigating on her own a little bit. Did Sal actually kill Andy, or is there a total different story behind it? Love the formatting. It's a little bit of a mixed media format, which is great because I love mixed media. I love dual timelines, apparently. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button down below and leave down in the comments what your favorite book is so far, or of this year, of all time. I really want to know, and might even want to read those. You never know. And I will talk to you soon. Bye!